Hey everyone, welcome to the Leshy Permaculture channel. We had the opportunity this summer to visit Honeyberry Farms in Bagley, Minnesota, and we learned a lot. We got to experience the hospitality and the many various fruits available at Honeyberry Farm, so hopefully you guys can learn as well. Without further ado, enjoy the video.
It all started here in the winter of 2010.
Okay.
Right here in our little cabin in northern Minnesota, 25 miles north of the headwaters of the Mississippi River. It was winter. It's cold. There's snow out. But like any gardener, we're dreaming of spring, right? So I get a garden catalog in the mail and flipping through it, and I noticed this new berry that I had never heard of before. It was kind of an oblong, bright blue, attractive but kind of odd shaped berry that captured my attention, and it was called a honeyberry. So I looked into it a little bit further and found out it was a honeysuckle variety. And actually, I didn't really look into it that much. I just saw a blueberry zone 3.
Yeah.
And I ordered a couple.
Right. Yeah, so we're in zone 3 right now.
That's right.
Okay.
I thought, hey, if I can grow it. And so that spring, I got 2 bare root plants, and I'd never ordered bare root plants before. They look like dead sticks.
Yeah.
Unbelievable how plants can be shipped and just look like dead sticks, but if they have a good root, stick them in the ground, and in a few weeks they'll start leafing out.
Sure.
Permaculture kind of guy.
Yeah.
You might be interested in our hugelkultur. Oh, look, we got a pocket gopher, a fresh one. He
Nice.
wasn't here yesterday. Oh, my husband.
He's a good trapper.
Nice. So
But-
this is a hugel mound?
yes, it is.
Cool.
Yeah, and the kale is very happy. And
Yeah.
So I'm happy with it. It's raised natural, raised bed. And
Yeah. It's kind of a fun polyculture here.
Mhm.
I like it. So you have kind of interspersed more your own personal food plots here.
Mhm. Yeah, this is our home, and this is just our little garden area, and it's just evolved. You hear about the hugelkultur. Okay, well, let's try
Try
it.
it out.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you seem to have a little bit of a doing your own science kind of attitude. I like that.
and then, the less stressed I get about gardening, the more fun it is.
Right.
Let's throw in some snapdragons and some California poppy, and let's build a little teepee.
Yeah.
Grow some string beans, purple string beans. Every year it's different, so yeah, you want to, move your crops around.
Sure.
Because just to make good use of this little alternating crop. But
Yeah. And you never know what volunteers show up.
that's right. It's always a surprise. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and one little friend came and she said, "Oh, it's like having a grocery store right here." Okay, well, this is our original honeyberry plot.
Okay.
So we had 3 main varieties planted in spring of 2011. Last fall we mowed this row down totally,
Okay.
and you see it's grown back 2-3 feet tall already.
Sure.
And we did some selective pruning on some of those bushes. But,
So just looking at this row especially, it looks like we've got interchanging varieties here.
we do for pollination.
Okay. So these are these from, what did you say, 2010? These were all put in?
2011.
2011.
I healed in, okay, this is the row that I healed into the garden in 2010 in the fall.
Okay.
And then we planted this row, and we pruned this various couple times. So, and then spring of 2011, we went ahead and planted.
Okay.
Like I said, the 3 original varieties from the University of Saskatchewan breeding program, of which there's pros and cons. So the tall berry blue that you tasted the dehydrated fruit from, it's very easy to shake and drop, and it's very productive. You can get like 20 plus pounds off of a, look how tall these are.
Yeah.
You know, and very productive. It doesn't require a lot of pruning because it just keeps growing and producing fruit on the ever-expanding canopy. And then we can shake the trees and the berries will drop. We clean them, and it's very efficient. However, it's getting too tall to net.
Okay.
So the birds come.
Trade-offs.
Yes, the birds come and feed. And these are planted 5 feet between bushes and 10 feet between the rows.
Okay.
So last year, before we pruned, we hardly walked through them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they do grow. And it's just too much to hand prune everything, so that's why we went with the brush mower.
Okay.
Yeah. Setting up a commercial plot, of course, you know, it would be probably better to have, we found it better to have a whole row of the same variety so you can deal with it distinctly.
In the same way.
In the same way, yeah.
Sure.
These two are the same variety.
Okay.
And then the pollinators were interspersed, but
Okay.
that's okay. We'll show you another plot where we did things quite a bit differently.
Sure. So how many plants, like how many honeyberry plants you think are in this?
There's about 800 here on an acre. Yeah.
Wow.
I'll take you to my demo.
That scared me. I was like, I looked over there and I was like, oh, woof.
Coyote over here? Wow.
Yeah, he scared me. Scary.
Sure.
Yeah, so that was my introduction, and I really didn't have anywhere prepared to plant them, so I just kind of dug up a little spot in the lawn and stuck them in. Not the ideal planting situation, but hey, you gotta start somewhere.
Sure.
And so then a couple months later, I went to Saskatchewan to visit family and friends, and in a little bit of spare time, I started Googling cold hardy fruit. Well, they're even colder zone too, and I'm actually from Saskatchewan
Okay.
and familiar with, Saskatoon berries, June berries, as they're called here in Minnesota, and of course the strawberries and, raspberries, just a regular fruit. And so when I Googled cold hardy fruit, the word haskap came up associated with the University of Saskatchewan, and the more I read about it, I realized, hey, this is what I ordered, except in the States, we call them honeyberries.
Sure.
Because they're a honeysuckle berry. And, well, in Saskatchewan, they call them haskap after the Japanese name because they grow in northern Japan, as well as Russia, and even here in the northern boreal forests, even in northern Minnesota, there are some wild variations as well. But they're smaller plants and not that plentiful, so they're and often in the wild, so most people have never heard of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this where you would do the U-pick area?
We have. Yeah.
Okay.
So here we have, and this section is called my demo plot because we have every honeyberry here is a different variety on that row, and this row, well, these are trial plots, so might have a couple repetitions, but trialing from different breeders, breeding programs, and it's a great place to compare varieties. So.
Sort of the lab here.
Yeah, so please come back in July and do some taste testing for me, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we also threw in some red currants, red and pink currants. We have our cherries on that row. Gooseberries.
So how many separate varieties do you think you have of honeyberries?
I think around 70. But some of them are trial. Like every seedling is its own. So some of them are going to be culled. We aren't going to keep them all, but yeah. or about 30 named varieties.
Okay.
Now this is a Yostaberry.
Okay.
Have you grown that? And that is one of my favorites. Let me get a plug for Yostaberry. It's
Okay.
a cross between a gooseberry and a blackcurrant.
Okay.
So it tastes more like a gooseberry, but it's dark colored and thicker skin like a, well, it's just kind of a deeper flavor than a gooseberry. And yeah, I really like it. But once again, it took several years to get established, and but with some patience and pruning, and that's the other thing. Some plants will just grow, send up a single shoot, but they need some, tip pruning to start sending out multiple shoots to be more productive, which is what we all want. So more berries. Yeah. So these all are plants with Japanese genetics from Dr. Maxine Thompson's breeding program.
That's in Saskatchewan.
That would be Oregon.
Oregon. Okay.
Yeah, it's Dr. Bob Boers that did the University of Saskatchewan breeding in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. So the Japanese varieties would blossom a week or two later at our site, or just overlap as the earlier Russian varieties are finishing. Then the Japanese varieties would be starting to bloom. So, and then they're typically a little bit more floppy than the Russian varieties.
They seem a bit shorter. Is that because of the cutting, or is that the natural growth habit?
Well, they're shorter, natural growth.
Okay.
Well, this is like the tallest Russian variety that I know. This is called Czech 17 or Berry Blue. And I totally pruned this like 3 years ago, I think. And it just grew back like crazy. But, and these are from the University of Saskatchewan breeding program, the Boreal series.
Okay.
Blizzard and Beast and Beauty. And so they have a combination of Japanese and Russian genetics, not this particular one, but yeah, so they have a little bit more of the Russian, like the zing flavorfulness, and but more of the floppy, a little bit more floppy growth habit, and large berries, very large berries. So yeah, but they're all pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Here.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Here we go.
So you're familiar with these. You say you're growing some.
Yeah.
Your mom makes jam or jelly with it?
Yeah. Back in the day.
Okay. Yeah, if you could only grow one fruit, it'd be hard to pass this one up because it is so productive. Like you get 30-40 pounds off of a bush.
Yeah.
It ripens in the fall. The birds don't bother it. The wasps sometimes bother them, but yeah, the only thing is like for fresh eating, they're okay, but
Yeah,
I think it's a honeyberry.
I like that they have the flowers, the fruit, and then the beautiful kind of red, pink, orange leaves.
Oh, definitely as a landscaper. Like,
Yeah.
what's there not to like about this, huh?
Yeah.
So, what do you think about we have done some pruning. We're going to have to do a lot more, I think.
Yeah.
But once they get to be, 10 years old, it's like you prune them and in just a year or two, like they're back to their previous size. So you still want to plan for that mature size when you're planting them in your yard.
Yeah. And it's definitely the kind of thing, like, the more you prune it, feels like the more you're going to need to prune it, At least if you're trying to keep it contained somewhere. This is awesome. I mean, you don't get to see a aronia that's just doing its thing very often.
Yep. Yeah, flip them over and... Those are pear trees there, producing yet in plum. I don't know if you want to bother with those or not, but... okay, Juneberry, Saskatoon. Once again, you see the natural bush life cycle. Produces for a few years, dies off, new shoots are coming up.
Starts over.
Yep.
So don't worry if my plant starts looking like that, as long as we've got the shoots coming up.
Yeah, if it's a bush, it's just part of the life cycle.
Sure.
Meter bush cherries. SWD loves them too. I think I'll pass. Yeah.
A little far gone.
Yeah, late ripening, but that shows the preference SWD has for these bush cherries, but they haven't gotten into the Ronia yet. But I'm keeping an eye, because left long enough, they will eventually get into the Ronia.
Okay.
Okay, so when you're starting a new planting, the easiest way that we found to have that grass control is to put a heavy-duty landscape fabric down. And it's permeable, the water gets through. We've strung a line here to net. We had a few bushes. This is like the third summer we've had them. And got a few berries, enough to, worth netting. But next year, a lot of them, all these branches will be producing fruit.
So your netting system is get the fence post pounder out, put them in, run the wire, and then just
tent, just drape it over.
Cool.
It works, for the first, till they get this big.
Yeah.
Or just raise the fence.
Good way to do it if you're just at home too.
Yeah.
So when you're selling them, you just pop them out of the ground and wrap them up and ship them?
We have a nursery plot, so as I said, we bring in potted plants, 1 to 2 year old from larger growers, and whatever's left over in the spring, we line out along the driveway. We have a nursery plot there, and that's what we dig up.
Okay.
But yeah, we have some plants that are even this big. We would pop them out. About 3 years, it's really not a problem to transplant, but after that, use the muscles. I was just going to mention that different varieties, as I mentioned, this is a trial plot from Lydia de la Field in Arkansas. Oh, another pocket over. Yeah. So we looked for characteristics like mildew resistance. It's not a big deal because, this will come back next spring. This has great, tasting berry, but it has more sun scald issues.
Okay.
And sun scald, but because it produces early in the season, it's not a big deal. They go dormant early.
Sure.
Yeah. Sometimes customers contact me and say, "Oh, my plant's dying." Well, it's just natural life cycle.
Yeah.
But as a landscaper, there are some varieties, that you would want to select for more resistance to or later dormancy. So here we have high-bush cranberry, which doesn't look very productive. Talk to the coons about it.
Okay.
Because
popular with raccoons.
I think that's the culprit.
Okay.
I am not positive, but if
maybe
anyone can identify the scat over there.
Get the little coyote right under this bun. Maybe
there you go.
Maybe they'll stay away.
Yeah.
Anyway, so back to the story of I saw these berries online that the University of Saskatchewan Fruit Program was breeding for larger berries, more flavorful berries, and it intrigued me. So the next day I happened to be visiting a friend at her farm, and we got talking gardening, and I asked her if she had heard of these Haskap honeyberries, and she said, "Well, yeah, her mother-in-law had some at the adjacent farmyard." So we just walked over, and this was July, and she said, yeah, here they are, and I got to see these bushes with these little odd-shaped, oblong, blue-colored berries hanging off them, and they were just ripening, and I got to taste them, and I popped one in my mouth, and it was very interesting because the skin was so thin it just kind of melted in my mouth. I didn't really taste a seediness. There are tiny seeds in there, but you don't really notice them.
Sure.
And it just kind of melted in my mouth, and a little tangy, and it was, like I said, not super ripe, so it was more on the tart side, but I was happy that I had ordered some. And then I asked my friend, "Well, what do you do with them?" And she said, Nothing. My stomach from all that mush. So, and they are a big hit for kids. It's just like 99% of the kids really like them that come to our farm. So, yeah. Yeah. So, well, I was glad that I had ordered a couple, and then I came back and told my husband about my experience, and I said, well, you know what? I'd kind of like to get some, like maybe a couple hundred, you know, have a little pick, and he said, well, how are you going to pay for them? And I said, just the answer came to me, well, I'll order a whole bunch and then I'll sell some to pay for mine, you know, because the more you
Sure.
buy, the cheaper they are. So that fall, I placed an order, and it went so well that, yeah, I had about 120 plants left over and just healed them into the garden because, once again, I wasn't prepared, but you got to start somewhere. So healed them into the garden and kind of just put it out of my mind, figured, well, we'll figure out what to do with them in the spring.
Sure.
And about a month later, this was like in November, my husband turned to me and said, well, I think you should bring down some more plants in the spring. So I got on board with finding out, well, I guess we better find out what's involved with selling plants. Found out, yeah, I should probably have a nursery license, and that was basically about it. And threw up a website and started contacting propagators and investigating, you know, looking more into what varieties, and then the whole world of cold-hardy fruit really started opening up because I realized there was a lot more that we could grow here that we weren't growing. We started out with 3 varieties of honeyberries, 2 varieties of tart cherries that first year. Well, that was where we started because, you know, you got to start small. But then we've expanded to many other,
Sure.
you know, specialty fruits, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen the Arctic raspberries anywhere but here.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, and then currants. We have red, white, pink, and black currants. There's elderberries, aronia, black chokeberry, which is in season now. We'll go take a look here.
Sure.
And
Yeah, minus berries right now.
Oh, you have
Yeah.
some too. Great. And yeah, it's just like I said, we kind of limited ourselves to berries that we could grow. Zone 3 cold hardy berries,
Mm-hmm.
and I think maybe the most exotic one, fuzzless kiwi. Are you growing fuzzless kiwi?
I'm
too?
not. No. I don't know. A kiwi vine kind of scares me a little bit.
Oh, they're just kind of like grapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you can get past the early spring frost.
Sure. And is that one you would need like a male and a female, or?
Supposedly,
Okay.
for most varieties.
Okay.
Yeah. I say supposedly because I didn't see a male vine out there in a fruit, but I might have missed it.
It's working well enough.
I know. I lost some males and I replanted. So, anyways, but it does take like 4 or 5 years
Sure.
really for
Get
them to get
established.
established. So,
Okay.
you got to be patient. And
Do you have a favorite variety, or you kind of avoid?
The one I'm eating at the time.
Okay. Sure.
It all depends on, you know, the purpose of
Mhm.
the berry. What do you know, I'll come out here and, like I said, there's not a berry there's hardly a berry that I don't like.
Sure.
You know, we have a few medicinal ones that
Yeah.
that I call them my practical joker bushes.
Okay. Sure.
Otherwise, you know, I like diversity. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm not stuck on any particular variety. But,
Sure. And then you can eat more of them probably. Don't really get tired
Yeah.
of them.
That's right. I'll just take a quick look at the kiwi here because the bugs
Sure.
are in the see. So we're just working on getting our trellising up,
Yeah.
but there's an example.
Oh, wow.
Go ahead and
There we go.
if it's soft, pick it.
Ooh.
Not really?
No, not really.
Okay, we'll see if any of them have dropped to the ground. That's a little shaky. That's the easiest way to find a right. There's one on the ground. Go ahead and just a little small one.
Wow.
It's a kiwi.
Yeah. Wow.
He's got the kiwi smile. I call it the honeyberry smell too.
Yeah.
I like this.
I've never had that fresh of a kiwi.
Oh, you found another one. It's
One
got a
that-
good eye. Look at the size of that.
That's a bigger one. So is that more the size of what these ones would be like?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Kind of tastes like a grape.
It's good.
Want to get a close up?
Oh.
Oh, there's a nice chunk. Okay, let's see if we have any. But I also was reading, because this is only the second year I've had fruit, so I'm still learning about them. So I was reading that you can pick them when they're like 8 bricks of sugar value of sweetness, and put them in the fridge, or just pick them and then, well, that they store good,
Yeah.
even not ripe, and then they will ripen
Ripen.
off the vine.
Cool.
So, but I'm trying to get them as ripe as possible on the vine. Hopefully, we're still a few days or weeks out of. Oh, look at all that!
Wow.
There you go.
Look at that.
Help yourself.
Oh.
There's one on the ground there too.
Boy, that was the ground.
Yeah, these are still pretty
You want more?
soft.
No, it's okay. You can eat them.
They're good.
They're so good.
That's another good example of the fruits we're talking about. Like, I'm not gonna buy a store-bought kiwi, really ever,
Fruit snob.
because they're a disappointment. These are incredible.
There you go. Okay, let's step under here. And we'll pay a visit to our neighbors.
All right.
10-4. Oh, there's another one. Wait, I have that one.
So you're talking about maybe this being closer to the woods. Where would they normally grow in like a natural?
They do grow at forest edge,
on the
along
edge?
on streams too. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess there's a lot of varieties, so there's probably a lot of variety in growing location too.
Yeah. So we have a neighbor who works part-time for us,
Cool.
and he is definitely into the permaculture landscaping
Sure.
mentality. So,
I can tell.
so we're welcome to take a walk through it.
Cool.
So this was all solid forest. There was tree falls there. We've had, in the last 7-8 years, we've had some severe storms that took out, look at the massive roots here. So he hand cleared this whole acre, and now is in the process of planting and designing
Sure.
his own their personal
Little
plot.
paradise over here.
Paradise. Yeah, that's a good word. Yeah. Outdoor shower area,
Awesome.
shielded by
That's cool.
the morning glories.
Stand right on the rocks there.
Yeah. Little pond area. Come. Catnip for the kitties.
Sure.
Raspberries. And yeah, the first year garden did really well.
Nice.
They put it out enough to get enough light. I wasn't sure if they'd have enough sunlight, but yeah, it was pretty good. So, well, shall we try and find a less mosquito-y
Sure.
place to...
Yeah, we're in elderberry season now. This is late August. Elderberry and abronia and kiwi. I guess
Okay.
those are our three main fall berries.
Okay. Cool.
So, yeah. Well, any other questions about? Well, that's just the background.
Sure.
How we got started and well, what is our horticulture? I had a customer, ask me the other day. Well, I thought you would, know more about how to prune or do this for one of these. I think it was one of them. It was about kiwi, in fact. And I said, well, here's some links. My specialty is actually putting everything I learn on our website. There's lots of links there. I say I put my brain on the website, because I can do research, but we're still learning. We don't. My husband is a farmer, and he puts up hay, and he knows all about dairy farming. We don't dairy, but he does put up hay for other farmers, and we have learned as we go along, I guess, and that's just what I say. I said, I'll tell you if I know something or if I don't, so, and try and point you in the right direction. But yeah, it's just been a different kind of learning, very hands-on, experiential, and there's a lot of great resources out there, online as well as local people that are willing to share. We're part of our local garden club, and that's always a good resource too.
Sure.
The University of Minnesota Extension Master Gardeners.
Yep.
There's a lot of resources out there. So if a person's willing to ask some questions, visit other farms, and learn as you go along. I always say, if I can grow something, anyone can grow it. So.
Yeah. And I mean, I think a lot of the fun is learning, at least for me. If there's nothing to learn, I won't be interested anymore. Right. So, yeah, I definitely agree. So what are some of the things that might be kind of unique about a honeyberry? Like, do I want multiple varieties to increase the fruiting or anything like that? Is there any kind of like insider knowledge on the honeyberry?
Well, most varieties do require a companion for cross-pollination.
Sure.
And the main thing for growing them is they have shallow roots, so keep the grass away. I planted my first ones. I dug a little hole about this big and stuck it in. And there's this heavy mat of grass around. That's not ideal. No. We recommend 3 to 4 feet of grass-free, weed-free. Whether you use heavy-duty landscape fabric mulch or which is just for a commercial operation. That's kind of the way we go.
Yeah.
It's much more feasible to do. Or you can, you cardboard down or whatever you do, wood chips, as long as you keep that. Give the little guys a chance to get established. When they get bigger, they can, stand on their own roots. But yeah. And water, of course, as needed, and like I said, if I can grow them, anyone can grow them, but they're cold hardy.
Right.
So you don't have to do anything with them over the winter. Protect the little ones, of course, the bunnies and the deer in the spring when they leaf out so early, so the deer could be coming by and chomp on them, but they are, after they get established, they're quite deer resistant. As they get older, of course, we're learning now 15 years down the road that these little baby bushes, some of them are not monster
bigger
bushes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to do your research because there's such a variety of sizes of honeyberries. Some that will only grow 2-3 feet tall. They might bush out 5 feet or so. Most of them do bush out quite a bit, but some of them will grow 7, 8, 10, 12 feet tall. Also, depending on your growing conditions.
Sure.
If you do start out and realize after a couple of years that if you plant them too close, you can transplant them. But after about like the 4th or 5th year, the roots get pretty massive. So you want to do some planting before they get too big. And pruning, just if you have a couple plants, you can rejuvenate them by pruning at the base and send out a new shoot. And then the second year is when the berries will be produced. Here at in our orchard, we've just taken a brush hog and mowed the whole row down to rejuvenate them.
Right, kind of coppice them a little bit.
Right down, 6 inches from the ground.
Okay.
They'll grow back. If it's a healthy bush, it'll just grow back.
Sure. So you were saying when you talked to your friend, they said they don't do anything with the berries. So what do you do with the berries
if
now?
you don't, if you have more than what you can eat fresh, you can do anything that you would pretty much with any berry because they are so versatile. They're so great to eating fresh. They are, they freeze well too. So, of course, the most nutrition is fresh. And then after that, it's if you freeze them and then just eat them frozen. Like, once again, we have a lot of families come here. So I hear stories of what they do. And they just let the kids go into the freezer and pop them into their mouth. I call them mini popsicles.
Yeah.
And
probably nice on a summer day.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so, of course, there's only so much you can eat fresh or frozen, so the next step would be processing, and they make a great jam, syrup, ice cream topping. It's the kind of flavor that it's so versatile. It can go on anything from cheesecake to meatloaf. I use it for dipping into egg rolls sometimes. And the skin is so soft, so you don't sense the skin in in the jam. Some of them varieties can have a few seeds, but not as seedy as raspberries. And a lot of the flavors in the skin, so we like to encourage people, just use the whole berry. You can make jelly, but you really want, to utilize the whole berry, I think, in my opinion. So they dehydrate. I like to make fruit leather.
Sure.
They are not all the same size, so there's a little more complication in dehydrating them. Mm-hmm. Some varieties are conducive to freeze drying as well. That's a lot of fun. Freeze dryers become more popular and makes for a great healthy snack too.
You have a little bit of
very cold hardy and mildew resistant variety.
Sure. Wow.
I have never had disease on this.
Those are beautiful.
They are. So they aren't quite ripe yet. We like to let them ripen right up till freeze up. But if you want to taste, look at those clusters.
Have a sour grape?
Yeah, have a sour grape.
You want a sour grape?
Sure.
Oh, it's pretty soft. Have your pick there. I like them
Ooh.
sour.
Oh, they're so good.
I would eat them all like this. My stomach would probably not feel good.
As with any grapevine, all this gets pruned back in late winter, and you just leave 2 buds, and it's very prolific. So this is one fruit vine.
Wow.
And it provides 30-40 pounds.
How old is this plant?
Oh, probably 15 years or more. 15, 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, let's go around here with a few plums. Coca plum. This is a Pembina from Pembina, North Dakota.
Okay.
end of season.
I split it.
Sure.
Another one here. Still. Yeah,
You get the juice shot.
those are very juicy.
Mm.
We've had so much rain this year that the fruit is just really juicy. Yeah, let's show you what happens to a cherry tree after, it's probably close to 13 years old. This is a Evans Bagley, and it had some damage, probably from weed whacking.
Mm-hmm.
See, getting too close, and this is what you don't do. You don't want to let your grass grow up around it, and then you weed whack, and then
Sure.
you damage the
Always
the
good to have
base.
an example of what not to do.
Yeah, this is what not to do. And cherry trees, tart cherry trees, they only have, 12, 15 year real productive lifespan. So I've learned.
Okay.
However, they like to send out shoots.
Huh.
We could rejuvenate this by just letting this shoot come out. But since it is, quite damaged, I'm not sure what we'll do. We may just replant with something.
Yeah.
And this is a Evans Bagley that is grafted onto a rootstock, so it maintains more of a tree form and doesn't sucker so much.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this was from a local nursery. But what we bring down from Canada, especially, everything that we sell is grown on its own roots. So we would encourage suckers to come up from the root to keep rejuvenating and have more of a bush form
And
than a tree form.
when you're saying grown from its own roots, you're talking about like ornamental trees. A lot of times have like an elm base. Is that what you mean?
Yes,
Okay.
or apple trees that are grafted onto a dwarfing cold hardy rootstock.
Sure.
But Evans Bagley, these tart cherries, they don't need a cold hardy rootstock because they are cold hardy. It's just, some nurseries are so in the habit of, they have a good cherry rootstock, okay, everything gets grafted onto it. They don't really realize that this tree doesn't need a different rootstock, but
Sure.
that's fine. Let's see. Oh yeah, site selection. Okay, so yeah, the leaning coca plum here, as our big tree is grown, it still produces, but it's not the ideal location. But
Sure. Yeah. What do you do? That's where it is, right?
that's right. Here's another cherry plum, and yeah, I got a little bit behind on all the suckers and stuff, but yeah, there's never run out of something to do around the farm.
Oh.
These might be over.
Wow.
Cherry plum.
There you go. Wasn't this a great job? Just eat your way through that.
Cool.
Ooh.
I like that one.
You ever met a fruit you didn't like?
No.
Well, we have raspberries that, transplanted from a neighbor. So these are the floricane, where it bears fruit on the second year growth.
Mm-hmm.
So this will all be pruned, taken out, and then next year the fruit will be produced on this growth that came up this year.
Sure.
Come along here and we'll trick that we started doing. Well, we had so much rain this year. The raspberry patch really has done well, and we're going to have to thin this down, take out half the plants. It's just a jungle. It's not manageable.
Yeah.
But what the good thing that we did do, though, is you have 2 rows. One year you take a hedge trimmer, mow down the whole row. Then you don't have to.
You have a bit of a cooperative thing here with the strawberry.
We advertise with our neighbors.
Okay.
Have grown strawberries for like 30 some years.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
Terry was University of Minnesota Extension coordinator up here. He's had a lot of experience originally from Michigan, where there's a lot of fruit grown, and he's been very encouraging and helpful as well. So yeah, we just, berry pickers come out first week in July. If they end up here, we tell them about the strawberries down the road. If they end up, they get a lot of strawberry pickers, and then they're very good to tell their pickers about us too. It's not a competing competition. It's more like we all benefit.
Yeah.
The businesses benefit.
That's great.
The pickers benefit because they're so different. Raspberries or strawberries. All these fruit are so different. They don't compete with each other, but they all. It's encouraging because if you get tired of bending over and picking strawberries, then you can go somewhere else and get something that's taller. Also have Aronia, freeze-dried Aronia, which Aronia is honestly a little bit more challenging for the fresh market and even for the freeze-dried market. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, and the naming doesn't help, right? Choke.
Well,
Having choke in the
Why?
name.
Yeah.
we just call them Aronia.
I do
People say-
too.
I noticed that. I'm the only one that called
I
it a
avoid
cherry.
a lot. You eat one of these.
Yep. I've never had them like this.
Freeze-dried.
Oh,
Still
cool.
get that,
At the end, it's
the dry mouthfeel.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like in my brain. There's like cognitive dissonance when you eat the dried, freeze-dried berry
Yeah. Yeah, the cherries almost felt like they were still juicy to
because
me.
they have the pit in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Aronia, there's that sweet, and then there's such a complexity, and then the dryness pops out.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I like to do taste tests. Just, this is all first time we've ever had freeze-dried fruit. And I like to know what our customer base is going to be interested in. So.
Oh yeah.
So I'll say Aronia is going to be number 3, just because the dryness is a little bit overpowering. But
Yeah.
but between Honeyberry and Cherry, it's going to be maybe a close competition.
I like the honeyberries texture dried more.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of feels like in a really nice way a little bug. Like in the nicest way. It's like
how
work in the biology department or something, or what?
Yeah, right.
or it's like
Entomology,
how a little bird feels when it gets.
that's how I imagine. Yeah. Yeah.
I think
That's
we
how-
can do something with that. A little marketing. Have you had your bug today?
Yeah.
That's a nice way to. Oh, I don't know. Go ahead with me.
Okay. Jump up, play farmer for a minute. There you go. Oh, I choose the one with the most comfortable seat. Right? Smart farmer. Drive by and they just swing in, and now we have limited parking, but we're open all day. We don't require people to come for like 2 hours.
Sure.
A certain time. We're open all day, and we have it set up self-serve. So we spread out to service our customers to come when they can come, and so they come, and if there's no one here, we have a self-pay.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
QR code and everything.
Yep. Cash, check, or IOU. It'll work for us.
Yeah, so this one definitely feels a lot more intentional. With
Yes.
the post and stuff.
So we did this 2 years after our initial home planting, and
the DNR, assists with deer fencing, and even though mature honeyberries don't have problems with deer, the seedlings would.
Sure.
And we weren't sure what all we were going to be planting here, so we just went ahead and put up the deer fence here and across for the cherries. Deer love cherries, so it's very beneficial to have fence.
Yeah.
So yeah, we set this up, to be more focused on managing honeyberries here. Right across the street is the cherries, and in the northwest quadrant we have Juneberry, Saskatoons, and currants, and the northeast quadrant on the other side of the willows we have elderberries.
Okay.
Pros and cons when you mix. If you have a true permaculture on a commercial scale, it gets very difficult to manage, like for hand, to manage like that and for harvesting. So this way we can. I'll show you what we do for commercial harvesting, or even our customers that want to stock up their freezer for them. Anyway, grab a pool.
Okay.
Go ahead. There's no berries, we'll do a simulation.
All right.
Grab a rake, a real high-tech $20 manure rake.
All right.
Okay. And we'll go over here to...
Stall for it.
Yeah. We'll go over here and lift the nets up. But once again, after that initial couple weeks of cedar waxwings, after they leave, then we can lift the nets up and so, yeah, so this is full of berries.
I'll
do a little demonstration about to show you how easy it is. There, we're harvesting leaves right now, which are edible and highly nutritious.
Oh, wow.
Okay, but it would be better to harvest the leaves when they're green. Yeah, so give a few whacks there, and there you go.
And they just fly out.
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
we can get that in post.
So, this is a taller bush,
Mm-hmm.
and as you notice, if you whack too hard, the berries would fly out past here.
Mm-hmm.
So we would have tarps down for some of these taller bushes.
Okay.
Some of the shorter bushes, like this variety over here, is super conducive for,
Gotcha.
it's more spreading lower to the ground. Give it a few whacks from the top, just there you go. Oh yeah, you got it. That is definitely, this is Indigo Gem, an early ripening variety that's it's very conducive for this type of harvesting. So then you got berries and leaves and twigs. What do you do then? And bring it over to the cleaning station. So we would have a chute here.
Okay.
A clean, piece of plastic, I guess, chute. And then we pour the leaves down here, and where you're standing a little further back, we'd have a leaf blower.
Nice.
And then, so the leaf blower will blow the leaves off, and the berries drop into your bucket.
Awesome.
And that's been a game changer for us because, like I said, when you got a family to feed and you want to fill your freezer, or us that we harvest and supply jam makers and other local value-added product bakers, we will harvest them in 2 to 4 gallon buckets, and then they just will have what they need to do their business. So yeah, but some people like to come out and just hand pick too, so whatever the customer wants to do, we're happy to facilitate. So yeah, got things pretty much put away for the winter, and another 9-10 months and we'll be back in business. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Back in there. Yeah, never run out of things to do, but there's definitely more that we could do to clean some of this up, but it's job's here.
Sure.
But I did want to mention there's one other, I keep forgetting that, a couple things. We have goji.
Oh, okay.
We have a beautiful little flower.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the high bush cranberry that's very juicy, but almost like a peppery flavor, and it's different.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people don't like them as much as they thought they would.
Yeah.
But sounds like maybe I would like them. I think they also call them wolfberries, is that right? Okay.
And over here I stuck in a mulberry. We just started selling the Trader mulberry. And once again, this is what you're not supposed to do but you gotta start somewhere, right? So, so there is some plastic down here, but the grass is growing through the plastic.
Sure.
And so this is a mulberry that will get 35 foot tall. So you gotta really plan ahead for the mulberry. We had planted all cherries here. The second, most of it died out. And the only thing we can think of, it's heading down to low ground, even though there's not standing water.
Yeah.
There's a saying that cherries don't like wet feet.
Okay.
But there's just something about, and who's to know?
Yeah.
I haven't sent in soil analysis or anything. It's just, we have enough cherries on the upper part, so. But some of them are making a comeback, and once again, we're kind of aging out, so.
Sure.
But yeah, these ones just never took off. They would get planted exactly the same way. But these were crimson. This is a different variety too. So these are Evans Valley on their own roots. You see how they sucker?
Yeah.
They don't sucker in the aisle way because we mow.
Yeah.
So they're easy to control if you mow.
Right.
Yep. Another little elderberry patch. Once again, it's just not the ideal way to do things, but that's what we have time for. Future work in progress. Get it cleaned up more. And over here we have seaberry, which is another very interesting.
These like kind of orange berries?
They are, and there's a tiny orange berry up there.
Oh, sure.
And the problem is, I think my male.
A couple of them right there.
Yeah, they should be solid. You know, the whole branch should be solid.
Yeah.
But I think my male has died out. I didn't have good male pollinator here, so we only got just a couple berries. But you're welcome to try them.
They're nice. I like this narrow leaf.
And they have thorns, remember? So, but yeah, where were they up there?
There's a couple. Yeah, here's a little one.
Oh, here's one. Here's a nice shot. A little orange one.
Whoa. Yeah, I don't know how to describe that either. Definitely has more skin.
It's like tropical.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of tastes like vague tropical flavor.
It does.
Even though it's a northern fruit, but it's that citrusy aspect of it, and it makes a nice gelato, and the leaves you can make tea out of the leaves. And
yeah, this is
I really like this one. Yeah.
This definitely is to me the kind of plant I'm surprised it isn't in more yards.
Well, The issue is that it does sucker, so you don't want to plant it along your fence
Sure.
because your neighbors might not appreciate it. Once again, it's well controlled with mowing, but you still don't want to do that to your neighbors. So.
Sure.
And there is dieback. It requires rejuvenation. I had, more trees here, and due to neglect and or lack of rejuvenating pruning, we're left with a couple females, and I'm not sure even where I have the male. And another project down the road too.
Sure. I wanted to end the video with a thank you to Honeyberry Farms. This was a really cool experience. We got to try so many different fruits, a lot of which I've never had before, and I would guess it's going to be a while, probably until next time I go there, that I would ever have them again. So thanks again. Really, it was great. I had so much fun, and hopefully if you got this far in the video, you'll consider checking them out for yourself. Thanks again. Have a good one.